Hi there, welcome to Encore. It is time for our weekly music roundup. On today's show, bringing an ancient instrument to contemporary audiences. We're hearing the latest jazz oud compositions from musician Dhafer Youssef. From the Sahara Desert to California, find out how Grammy Award-winning group Tinariwen defied war at home in Mali to make their new album, which is out this week. And pop's pocket rocket Prince is back with a new reincarnation. We'll be hearing from him and his new band, Third Eye Girl. Thanks very much for joining us, and hello also to our France 5 music critic Mark Thompson.
Hi, Catherine.
And of course to Dhafer Youssef.
Hi, Catherine.
Very nice to meet you. We're going to come straight to your album, in fact, your sixth album, Bird's Requiem, that you've just released. We're going to give the viewers a little taste of it. This is a track that's called 39th Goulet to Istanbul. There we go, that's Dhafer having a great time by the look of it on stage with your band there, playing 39th Goulet to Istanbul. Now we saw some of the very different instruments you've got on stage there, your oud, the clarinets, the drums, everything. Where would you place your music? Is it Oriental, is it jazz?
This is the hardest question ever I could answer, actually. Myself, I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think my music is all what I listen to, what I grow up with. I grew up with the radio, and I think the radio was the open door to the whole world. And I think my music is everything, actually, from India till Timbuktu, from Paris till South Africa.
And some Norway in there as well, which we'll probably come to a little bit later. Okay. Well, just speaking about this album for now, Bird's Requiem. Why Requiem? That's traditionally religious mourning music.
I didn't see it as I don't see it actually as a religious. It's much more a requiem to my mother. So lost. I don't like to go emotionally about that, but the thing that I have the feeling that she hands me over something to live with it, and it's fantastic actually.
And that will come through on the record.
It's not trist at all.
No.
And the birds, of course, about the flying. You know, on the record there is four leitmotif, four songs who are actually the main thing in the record. It's about the fly act, actually.
Very poetic.
Something I was fascinated to read was that you actually made your first oud and then learned how to play it via listening to the radio. What was that like?
I mean, it's hard. The thing is, like, well, you don't have nothing to do and you want to express yourself. You need something to bring it out, and I think was the only way to do it.
Were you always attracted to that instrument? Was it something?
I love the oud. I love the sound of the oud. It's magic. So even I play it, I love it more and more every day. It's like the best thing I could have is just wake up and play the oud.
That's so lovely to hear.
Thank you.
And of course, you're from Tunisia, but you've lived in Europe since 1990. You recorded your latest album here, and I mentioned the Nordic influences that come into your music. So why this affinity to Northern European music?
I'm always saying that the Norwegian, they are much more African than some African.
Oh, in what way?
They're so deep. I discovered that this through, of course, Jan Garbarek. I did listen a lot of records from ECM, and then my discovery was Nils Peter Molver band, Khmer, and one of them, or three musicians from them, is Eivind Arset, guitar player, Audun Erlien and Runa Arnesen, they became member of my band, and that was really a great journey till now, actually.
And it just seems so different, sort of Tunisia and Norway. You wouldn't naturally put them together.
Do you find it challenging to try and mix the two together with your music?
I mean, I see there is one music. We talk about what is my music. Actually, it's one music. It's all what on this beautiful earth, actually.
And I know that later on this year you're going to be actually playing with whole orchestras as well.
Yes.
London Symphony Orchestra.
And the arranger is also from Norway, Kjetil Bjørkestrand. So I can't miss Norway anyway.
And is that bringing in sort of traditional Western classical traditions as well?
That will be with the London Symphony Orchestra, with the whole orchestra, and with my quintet. And it will be a commission for London Symphony Orchestra on the 24th of April. It will be fantastic.
Plenty to look forward to. And you're here in Paris for the Festival Son d'Hiver as well. So a very busy man. So thank you for coming in to see us.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk about some more musicians from elsewhere in Northern Africa. Not quite Tunisia, though. This is the Grammy Award-winning Malian blues band Tinariwen. Now, the band's members are all nomadic Tuaregs and were forced by the recent war to record their latest album outside of their home country for the very first time. Now, to make the record, which is called Emmaar, the band plumped for Joshua Tree in California. The record's out this week. This is Tumast Tincha.
Fantastic.
There we go. So that's the latest one from Tinariwen. Mark, has recording outside of Mali given their music a different sound to you?
Well, they've been around since the 1980s, but this is the first time they've actually recorded an album outside of Africa. And the studio they recorded in is actually better known for more country and even a bit of rock sound. So that's clearly come through with this record. On top of that, we've actually seen cameos from Red Hot Chili Pepper guitarist Josh Klinghoffer. So, I mean, that's a more obvious example of how this has changed their music.
It doesn't sound overtly American to me, though.
It doesn't sound... No, of course not, but it is very accessible to more American and UK audiences, which is not something that always happens with this music. But for me, when you listen to this music, you're not thinking of a war-torn country, which is where they're from in northern Mali, but you're really thinking about this Saharan desert and these men looking and struggling for survival, and it's a fascinating record.
And I heard as well that they said if they couldn't record in their own desert, they were going to record in an American desert. So, nice. Youssef, as someone yourself who's achieved sort of this crossover success of what we think of as world music, bringing it to Western audiences, what do you think is the most important, the key to achieving that?
I think the key is just to be sincere to yourself. Don't really change the main thing in your music, and then let you be cool, actually. Open things comes to you, like now what I'm hearing with the new Tinariwen is, I think for me it's the best thing what I ever heard.
Well, there we go.
Because the production is fantastic, actually. And
Lovely.
this is exactly what you do.
It's very impressive.
Don't lose your heart. That's it.
A recommendation there from Dhafer Youssef for Tinariwen. We're going to move on to festival news now, back here in Paris. Music fans are dusting off their wellies, getting ready for the city's biggest summer festival, as tickets for Rock en Seine go on sale this week. Now, this is the festival where Oasis broke up in 2009, and it attracts plenty of punters from across the Channel in the UK. In recent years, though, the lineup has drawn some criticism for not including enough big names. Mark, that seems to have entirely changed this year.
It really does. This new lineup caught a lot of people off guard, including myself. It's more of a best-of the last few lineups, actually. We're seeing Arctic Monkeys return from 2011, Queens of the Stone Age making their third appearance, Prodigy coming back from 2009. Lana Del Rey is also going to be a huge draw on top of that. But for me, I mean, Arctic Monkeys, I've somehow managed to miss them live. So I'm really looking forward to this. Let's have a listen to them.
Gas patterns on the ceiling, but you're feeling fine. I thought it was dark outside. I thought it was dark outside. So we all go back to yours and you sit and talk to me on the floor. But there's no need to show me around, baby. I feel like I've been here before.
the Arctic Monkeys from their latest album. Mark, they've got to an even higher level of fame with this album, haven't they?
They have,
so
indeed.
they and all these other acts, they can't come cheap, surely.
And they don't. I mean, we still have another 48 acts to be confirmed, but 4 or 5 years ago, Prodigy alone were supposed to be demanding six-figure sums for a headline festival appearance. So that's a lot of money to ask for. Luckily for the festival, they've just received a €650,000 grant from the local administrative board, so that's really going to help with their funding over the next 3 festivals.
There we go. Can't wait to see who else is going to be on the lineup.
No, of course.
Well, before we go, there's just time for word of a new band, sort of. This new act is fronted by none other than Prince. And Dhafer, you're a big fan, aren't you?
I must be.
It's impossible not to
for
be.
me, Jesus of the music, actually. I love it.
An incredible instrumentalist, isn't he? He
Yeah,
plays so
he's-
many different
exactly.
instruments. Well,
Exactly.
you'll probably enjoy this then. He really is the king of funk and roll. He's back with a new album called Plectrum Electrum with his freshly formed group Third Eye Girl. Now, they've just played a string of secret-ish gigs in London. Mark, what's this new incarnation
secret-ish.
about?
There are still leaks over Twitter a couple of days before.
And on the radio.
And on the radio.
etc.
I mean, he now has an all-girl band behind him, so you could tell it's a kind of a new group. But at the same time, it's the same funk sound that we know of Prince. Now, there was a bit of a hiccup with these shows because they were meant to sell for £70, but on the door there wasn't enough demand, so they ended up selling for 10.
Wow.
And on top of that, the new single
Fantastic.
only hit 90 in the UK charts this week, so it's not a great start to the new record.
Well, I think we're all still fans, aren't we,
Yeah, of
anyway?
course.
So I'm sure Prince won't mind too much. We're going to end the show with a little listen to some of Prince's new material. Thanks once again to Prince superfan and musician Dhafer Youssef.
Thank you very much.
Very nice to have you with
Thank
us. Thanks also to Mark Thompson for all of your insights as well. Do remember to keep in touch with us on our social networks if you like. Until next time, though, it's bye for now.
1 hour sleep between them better than none. Promoter tried to rob him, we said go ahead